the moment. The opening bounce. And Roughhead is back.
Picken laying it into gap out on the wing there. We wondered whether Picken would take a match up tonight, or maybe they've just lobbed on the wing at the same time.
Away we go then. The finals journey is underway. Opening bounce. Roughhead taps it down. Liberatore right into the action. On the deck. Hit hard. And the ball up.
Remarkable that he's out there, Tom Liberatore. Syndesmosis injury to the ankle. Incredibly painful. And his pain threshold to get through a play is just quite extraordinary.
Jong slipped. Kicks it down towards half forward. Smith. Hunter lays it off. This is Boyd. Off the side of the boot, close to the boundary line. I think it bounced on the line. The linesman's call is throw it in.
I feel like it's going to be a real game of territory tonight. The Bulldogs across the year have been very good. Once they get inside their forward 50, applying pressure and just gaining a bit of time in forward half, they'll be super keen to get a good start in this game.
Giles in front, Roughhead manoeuvres him, backhands it down. Bontempelli quickly, was it a mark? Play on was the call. Hunter lines up and he misses. Now that is the chance to get things underway the right way.
He got a chance 30 metres out, straight in front, silenced the crowd a little, but that was an easy shot. He blew that one.
What a season Hunter's had, averaging 29 possessions a game. His first tonight. Should have done better. Sounds strange. Hearn to the outer side. Darling's in front. Schofield flew over the top. Arriving quickly, Dixon hooks it back towards the middle. The mark is taken by Butler. Plays on. Sweeping hand pass. McGovern, a crowd favourite. A favourite with the All-Australian selectors as well. Hutchings, nice gather. Gave it across to Butler. Hearn.
Here's Darling. Wastes no time. Goes to Schofield. He can go over the top. Long handball to Lacroix. He had to wait. Gathers the ball. Morris diving across Cripps. Here's Hill. Back to Cripps. Morris right there. Terrific tackle. Holds him up. Up it'll come.
That 4-0 forward started with an intercept mark. It was Butler back in defence, who was on his own. Took an intercept mark. It'll be the thing the Bulldogs are desperate not to allow.
Giles, Prittis, Marston. That was all beautifully done. Hooked around back towards full forward. Tough one for Hamling. Kennedy kept it alive. Eastonwood. Hamling. And now the ball in a dangerous position. They retreat and the kick out of a dangerous position. Firstly, the handball by Boyd, and then the clearing kick at wobble towards halfback. Gathered by McGovern. Kicks inside 50. Boyd. Ground level. Picken, this time, better.
Dixon. Sends it out wide. Cordy pushing up, man on behind the defence. Cordy kicks it down towards the 50, and Boyd will mark right on the line. They've got to run a 2-on-1 inside the 50 now. Getting free in front. Stringer couldn't take the mark. Johannesson onto the loose ball, tackled by Prittis. Did he have it? Stringer in and out of trouble. Good tackle by Schofield, took him down. Banging away like Charlie Watts. Will get a ball up.
That's a couple of rolled goal chances of going begging. I mean, Hunter kicks that 99 out of 100, and that was a 2-on-1. The kick was really poor, and the end gave the defender a chance.
Few nerves from the Western Bulldogs. Barras is up, slaps it towards the boundary. Good spot for it. Dalhouse hooks it back across his body. They've got to deal with the bounce down there now. Shuey emerges with the football, kept his head, gave it to Shepherd. Shepherd the high one, outside the defensive 50. Committing to the pack, Morris knocked it down. Lacroix, quick kick back towards the wing. Well, he's getting plenty of the footballers' bigs this season. He started well again tonight. A little 1-2 there, works it forward, got it from Hamling. Ball inside the 50, thumped away by the defence, and they get a respite.
Great start, guys, from the Western Bulldogs, obviously, but a couple of missed opportunities. I just have to say a couple of players already have slipped over. It is a little bit dewy out there.
So it was a wet day earlier, but fined up from the moment the sun came up, and it's a cool night now, but perfect night for footy. Giles again, first hands to the football. Liberatore, Stringer, all of this confidence boosting. Gives it away to Roughhead. Another shot on goal for the Bulldogs. And again, inaccurate, behind, but they've started very, very well.
I feel like they've controlled the play early stages of this game. Only played just over 4 minutes of game time, and there you can see it, 77% of the time has been in their forward half.
Here to reward, though. They know, like we know, they've had some gilt-edged chances. Hutchings comes out wide. Giles plays on. Prittis feeds it forward. Marston, Gaff, coming off a brilliant game a fortnight ago. Yo goes down towards half forward. Letting it bounce down there. Lacroix, well done by Morris. smothers it out of bounds. And the thing now that would be a body punch as far as the Dogs are concerned if West Coast go down and kick a goal.
Both teams' defences have been really brave. They've left direct opponents to make sure they pushed up when there was a free player in between, which is why no one scored a goal yet.
Boyd won that one, got it back again. Picken fires the handball out now. Hunter through the middle of the ground. Long ball. Dalhouse was on. Barasco's back. Roughhead reaching over the top. Takes the mark. Here's Dixon. 40 metres out. Lays it off for Smith. Probably should have had the shot. Definitely should have had the shot. That's 3 behinds now for the Western Bulldogs, and it can only be classified as wasteful.
Tory Dixon is one of the most accurate kicks for goal in the game. He's kicked 80 goals, 23 since the start of last year. And you just think that was one he should have had a crack at.
Butler out of defence then. High ball. Lysette on the ground now. Had it knocked away. Put us in trouble cleverly. Hutchings not so clever. Out of bounds on the full. Tory Dixon 5 goals in the corresponding game last season. 5 straight.
Early stages, but no doubt the Bulldogs ground level grunt at this stage is earning them the better part of the early part of the game.
Daniel, the centering ball. Dangerous fist. Barras. Gaff. Butler gets it wide. Got it again. Lysette gave it to him. Clever kick. Controlled kick by Gaff. Got it to Sheed. Runners alongside. Cripps runs himself into trouble, then out of it. And that was smothered off the boot. Well done by Suckling that time. So the Dogs doing everything right except kick goals.
Their pressure is their trademark, the Bulldogs. They are fantastic around the contest, brilliant at winning the footy, but also applying pressure. And at the moment, their pressure game's enormous.
Matthew Boyd, 4 disposals. Tough tackle on Sheed from Dalhouse. And it'll come up again. So has the moment got the better of them here, Das, do you think, or just simple calculation errors?
Well, I think they've stood up to the moment. I think they're right in the game and they should be feeling really confident about it. Just a couple of missed shots at goal will be the only concern.
So Hunter retreating back to Hamling. He can go further back. Biggs has the footy. Inside defensive 50. His use of the ball has been good all year, as Dennis said, but that one, terrible error. And now the West Coast Eagles get exactly the opportunity that the Bulldogs will have feared. A goal at the other end.
Just popped up. It was an attacking kick. Whenever you go back towards the centre corridor from the full back line, it has to be accurate. And I suspect you didn't see Kennedy. And Kennedy just drifted and taken an easy chest mark. Now got a chance to kick the long bomb.
So Josh Kennedy, another brilliant season, 80 for the year, the Coleman medalist, 249 goals at Domain Stadium. Now he's got 250.
That hurts. That really hurts.
So Biggs, who has had such a good season, makes the error coming out deep from defence, gives it straight to Kennedy. And Kennedy, although he's had his moments with set shot accuracy, the latter half of the season has been quite terrific, and well, he makes the Bulldogs pay.
Had to set up out of the back 50 though, the Bulldogs.
This kick, Lee, is interesting for the Bulldogs. That is the kick that their coach wants them to make. He really does want them to attack. They haven't come here to try and make this a 0-0 draw. He won't be concerned about the fact it was a turnover, but they will try and do that all night tonight, the Bulldogs.
Good bounce. Lysette up early. Brilliantly done as Shuey. Silver service. Kicks inside the forward 50. A cramped kick. Kennedy. Thought about Darling. Stumbles. Darling's in trouble. Hunter working overtime. Marston. Quick kick away. Over the top, Yo. Normally marks those. Finds it on the deck. Trickles across to Hutchings. Tackled by McRae. Taken down and a ball up.
Not sure what happened that last centre bounce, but Josh Dunkley, he was the ruckman on that occasion against Lysette, so something's gone horribly wrong for that to be the case.
Who knows? Might be a tactic. There he is again. Practicing his big punch from set pieces. The ball goes down towards the pocket, reaching over the top. Morris did well. Sheed ran into a dead end. Kennedy snaps. Out of bounds on the full. Got some angle on that.
Well, that is the other option, Dan, is that it is a tactic. Luke Beveridge has done it before, conceded the bounce effectively and run another midfielder, Lee, so we'll keep an eye on whether or not that's the case.
So Caleb Daniel has the footy in the back pocket. He's called to go by the umpire now. Again, a little dangerous. Liberatore, the smallest man in that contest. Darling at the front, mops up, goes back, long, strong, and makes the Bulldogs pay again. Well, two poor choices coming from deep in defence for the Bulldogs, and that really is the difference in the game. Certainly on the scoreboard at the moment. The Eagles 2 straight 12, the Bulldogs 3 behinds, peppering away with those opportunities.
As Das pointed out, though, that's what the Bulldogs have to do. They've made 2 kicking errors. It's cost them 2 goals, but they can't kick the long down the line. They've got to try and be precise out of their back 50. But now the confidence has been shattered a little.
So the couple of turnovers looking for the precise kick resulting in Eagles goals, but aside from that, they've been very competitive. Natural order restored here with Boyd in the ruck.
Fell at his feet. Liberatore knocked it. Hutchings gave a hand pass. Shuey, Schofield, Shepherd, Wellingham. Time to recover. Marston goes back towards half-back. On his toes, Shepherd. Now Barras in clean air comes across the face of goal. About 40 metres out. McGovern takes the mark. Short one is on. That's a dangerous kick. Shuey has to wait. Pickin, well, he did well enough. Knocked it down in front. Shuey stayed on his feet, though. Gaff does well across half-back. That's nifty. Schofield, McGovern pushing up from full-back. Oh, not a good kick. Straight to Liberatore. Couldn't believe his luck. Goes short. Not 15. Taken by Daniel. Daniel decides to bounce one across towards Dixon. Bontempelli can't get through. He was dragged down brilliantly by McGovern. Liberatore over the top, under a lot of the football, under pressure, gave it to McKay, or rather McRae, and he pulls it back across the front of goal, and Sheed takes the mark.
Another good look, an opportunity inside 50 without a goal.
Boyd stands up this time and marks on the 50. So the kicking out from both teams hasn't been terrific. And maybe this is the pressure of finals footy, the first final for 2016.
Can he take the pressure? He's got the distance. He can kick the ball 55 metres, Tom Boyd. But he's just got to be calm enough and composed enough. Control power through the footy.
Pressure's been the word for Boyd this year. He's been under a lot of pressure. He goes short and too short to the shortest man on the ground. Daniel comes out the back, and Marston now clearing kick. Again, a dangerous option. Suckling up in front. Hunter sends it back inside 50. Pickin grabbed it. Third bite, and he hung on. And now his teammates urge him to go back and show some composure and finish it off.
Well, they're kicking at 35% at the moment, the Bulldogs, which is just unsustainable if you want to stay in the game. Their effort, their endeavour, their pressure's been unbelievable, but they just simply have to get one through the big sticks.
He's played in 7 finals previously as Pickett. Only a couple of goals. He's kicked 9 for the year, directly in front. We're right behind him, and there they go. The Dogs are away. They've got their first.
You eventually need to get your reward for effort. They've been really good so far. The Bulldogs, they dominated the clearances in the first 5 minutes of the game. Now the Eagles have got back into that part, but so critical to get that first goal on the board. The pressure just builds and builds and builds until finally the first one goes through.
First goal for the Dogs, and as we saw, that ball was touched, but very tough for the umpire to notice that.
You know, it's interesting, Dan, we're 13 minutes into this final. We haven't had a free kick paid yet.
What?
Unusual. I like it.
Unheard of. So the umpires letting them play. It's been enthralling stuff. Dalhouse kicks it down towards half forward. McRae goes across. Liberatore played it pretty well. McRae, the presence of mind despite the slip. Got it to Hunter. So much of the football. 7 possessions now. Long down towards full forward. Off hands to the back. Pickin. Can he get his second? Can he stay composed? Lays it off. Liberatore in trouble. Dixon goes in, applies a strong tackle on Shepherd, and will get a ball up.
Zippy at ground level, aren't they, the Bulldogs? They just look that little bit quicker when the ball gets into space. Just reaction time as well as leg speed. 9
inside 50s for the Western Bulldogs, just a 5. Close to the line and into the post. Oh, that was dangerous from Stringer. And that's what he's in the team to do.
Such a power athlete. Have a look. When he picks it up and explodes, the tackler's in a lot of trouble, and that was nearly a miracle.
Well, Marston was no match, and he was the happiest man on the ground to see it cannon into the bottom of the post.
Hearn to himself, drives it to the outer side. Hearn playing his 200th game tonight. Suckling over the top. Shepherd came strongly. McCrash slung. Yo. McRae did well. Biggs a very high ball, close to the boundary line.
Play on.
Still going. Smith, eventually. Jong. Dalhouse. Now Daniel fires it long down towards full forward. It bounces through for a goal. Well worked in tight.
Tell you what they're doing really well so far is they aren't getting outmarked. Even those high floating kicks, they're getting them to ground level. And as you said, Lee, they look pretty dangerous with that scrappy, awkward bouncing footy inside 50s really suiting them.
Well, it hasn't been an aerial game, has it? There's been really no strong overhead mark taken by either side at the moment. And the ground level scrap, that's the Bulldogs' chance. If they can make it a ground level game, that is where they may well have the edge.
Lee, I reckon at this stage you're exactly right. Just a bit more bite at the contest for the Bulldog players. Lockie Hunter, Dennis mentioned, and also Caleb Daniel, just a little bit cleaner around the contest at the moment.
You know, they were thrashed in the contested ball in that round 11 loss, the West Coast Eagles. The last 2 goals of the game here, and a lot of possession before the first goal was on the board. The Bulldogs could be in an even better position. Giles got it from Priddis. That's a bit unusual. Dunkley, handball, ended up with Priddis. Now Hutchings. From the wing goes long, and that's a terrific mark by Darling. Full stretch.
He's got great hands, Jack Darling.
Kicked a goal, started well. His intercept power was terrific. As are that man's. Kennedy coming one way. And Morris, terrific. Stood up, not for the first time already tonight.
What a gutsy defender. For a long time, forever. Sends it up towards the wing. Knocked down in front. Dalhouse. Was he taken high? Picked up by Daniel, who's been busy. Suckling in trouble. Wiggles away. Controls the kick nicely. Hamling's got it. Reassuring to hear the whistle there. They are working. Made the mark. Ball towards the centre of the ground. Dunkley's in front. Knocked away from behind. Shuey had a half chance. Dixon. Biggs. Raced for contact. Pays the price. Took the man on.
Once again,
Shuey.
they were brave with that kick through the middle of the ground. It's been turned over.
Shuey long down towards the kick-off line. Kennedy poised to mark it. Roughhead did well. Came back strongly and angles a fist back across the line.
So what now on the kick-in? Johannesson, the man given the job. We know the Dogs want to take it on. They can't creep into their shell. Elimination final. No point hanging back. Hamling goes long again. Well done by Stringer to keep it alive. That was really well done. Jong, the beneficiary of it. Picken taken down by Shepherd. Jong again. Kept the ball moving forward. Well done, Bulldogs. Dalhouse up towards the wing. Schofield. Dalhouse again. Superb football. Smith. Stringer. They've worked it forward to Picken. Now the long ball is on. Dixon tracking it back. Deserves a mark inside 50. And they get it. Brilliant football, Bulldogs.
They're moving it quickly, and the Eagles' defence is actually getting caught out a little bit. They're getting a bit caught in between. They've been able to run the ball through the middle of the ground and get over the top of the Eagles' defence. Not easy to do that, but a couple of times now the Bulldogs look like that's been on.
Well, they didn't retreat, and that's the most pleasing thing from a Bulldogs point of view.
Yeah, they're brave with their ball movement. It's cost them a couple of goals, but it seems to be the way they're going to play this final.
So kicking at their 3rd here, and it'll be 3 in a row to give the West Coast Eagles a real fright at home. 30 goals this year. He's kicked 31 now, and the Bulldogs going really well. They lead by 9 points.
Such a reliable set shot kick, Tory Dixon. It's a real weapon for him since the start of last year. He's 80 goals, 23 coming into this final, which is as elite as anyone in the game. So 3 in a row is a really important start for the Bulldogs. They conceded the first 2 goals after dominating play, and now the last 3 goals gives them a 9-point lead.
Tory Dixon getting the goal. He got 50 last season. He's got 30 this season. Made his debut against the West Coast Eagles round 1 2012. His first opponent was Bo Waters. Now that's a baptism. Back in the middle. Bounce this Roughhead, but didn't take much by way of the chance. It comes across to Gaffer, kicks it down towards half forward. In front, Kennedy had it thumped away. Nice set, ridden into the ground there. Roughhead, the tackler, rolls across towards Bontempelli. He's been pretty quiet, Bontempelli. Just checking his numbers, just the 2 possessions so far. Hutchings, who did a terrific job on Mitchell a few weeks back, has that roll again tonight. Lysette tries to crash his way out of there, going nowhere. Then we get a ball up. Scott Lysette, destined to play for the West Coast Eagles, born on the day they won the first premiership.
Let's go. Make sure we make our
26th of the 9th, 92.
Yeah, you can see Hutchings there really putting a lot of work into Bontempelli. He's had to deal with that for most of the second part of the year, but hasn't been able to find a lot of it early.
Like a drone mark. Hutchings always keeping an eye on someone. Never normally the hard tag, but an accountability role. Terrific tackle at the back. Cordy, lucky not to be pinged for holding the ball. He went again. Got the ball out to Daniel, Smith, John. They've worked it well from this area again. And now Dalhouse to Suckling, who sinks the left foot slipper into it down the line. Terrific mark up in front, Picken. Really good. He's providing a terrific target. And good contest again. Now he thought about going long to Dixon. Just lays it up. Chance here. Liberatore! What a finish! Libba back in the team. They've kicked 4 in a row. Oh, the Dogs barking at Domain. 4-4, 2-1, the last 4 goals of the game, and the West Coast Eagles are flat-footed when the ball is moving through the middle of the ground.
Just at the moment, they haven't got a whole lot of height in their forward line. It's not the height of the Bulldogs that's troubling the Eagles' defence, but the medium smalls are getting on the end of those pretty much random kicks deep forward.
Almost, if you could describe the way the Bulldogs thought this would unfold, it was a ground-level goal, making sure they weren't outmarked. Kicked 3 goals in the earlier game this year when they beat the West Coast Eagles. Back after 5 weeks out. That's a big moment for Little Libba.
115 points, Roughhead knocks it down. Lysette gets a hand pass away. Hutchings didn't have the football and will get the free kick.
Particularly the Hutchings matchup on Bontempelli. I reckon when Bontempelli goes forward, they'll have a different matchup because that's where he's so hard to tackle.
Here's Gaff, searching kick inside the forward 50. In front, Wood. He was interfered with. He'll get the free kick. Advantage is taken. Boyd, the All-Australian, if you don't mind. Wonderful season he's had. He deserves that too. Short of the wing, the kid. Wellingham was up in front. Critters off balance. Butler did well. Gaffer half volley. Wellingham kicks inside the forward 50. They meet at the footy. And well juggled, well controlled by Lacroix. Eyes only for the football against a very good aerialist in Wood who couldn't knock it away.
He just got there a fraction late, Wood. I think his first thought is always to mark the ball, to intercept mark. By the time he thought maybe it's a spoil, he was pretty much out of position, just slipped at the last moment.
Mark Lacroix, pretty good record against the Bulldogs, 33 goals in 12 games. Important goal for his team tonight, this one, and he's missed. Normally such a reliable kick. I think it's fair to say not as reliable at this stage of his career. That probably applies to a lot of people.
Not you, Dan. He's never kicked more than 2 goals in a final. So never productive, especially in the finals. Now Boyd to himself. Long ball. And here's another Boyd. And Roughhead drifting in from the side. Good mark. So they went longer that time. And the tall target's hitting the one spot.
Really added this to his game. Jordan Roughhead, 34 contested marks. That's the 35th for the year.
So Boyd again involved. Dalhouse has been busy. Back to Gaffey. Drop that. Good tackle, Dalhouse. Haven't their skills been sharp in the middle of the ground?
Yeah, great pressure from Dalhouse, who prior to getting injured was just about their most important player, Dalhouse.
So here they come again. Eastonwood to McRae and Lysette. Well done. Chased him down. The advantage is paid. Handball forward, so they were going forward again through McRae. Dangerous ball. Gaff. Cripps missed it. Eastonwood. Liberatore kicked the last. It was a beauty. Stringer close to the line. Handball backwards. And still in play. Stringer goes again after the foot. He left it behind. Well done, Shepherd. Got it across to Cripps. It ricochets out to Boyd. And now Daniel forward.
Interesting kick to a contest, really favoured the Eagle. This knocked across the line. Here's a story.
Sorry, Dan, this is the real worry. And this tackle Lysette, which was brilliant, he has got up limping badly. Came in with the knee they were worried about, Lee, and he hobbles off the ground. We'll check in with Belly shortly, but that didn't look great.
Tossed in. Giles into the action. Run it down. Prittis. Gaff under pressure. This ball curls out of bounds.
Yes, there's a thought that Mitch Brown, the extra tall, was partly because Lysette has had a knee that's been causing problems, and the uncertainty how it would go through a game might have been why that selection was made.
Fairy tale for Giles. Played well against Adelaide. Laid that one down well to Shuey over the top. Sheed, wonderful tackle by Boyd. Not only that, he picked his pocket. Hand passed it across to Wood, to McRae. This is compelling stuff by the Bulldogs at the moment. McRae from half-back. Miscue slightly with the kick up towards the wing. Wonderful mark by Pickin. So Pickin, they're playing with confidence. They should be further in front. Started well. The charge back into the game after missing some opportunities. Here's Boyd. It's in good hands. Boyd drives it towards half forward. And the mark is taken by Giles. I said too much.
So up the race, Peterbell downstairs. Mitch Brown, that inclusion looking smarter by the minute.
Yeah, the insurance, Mitch Brown. Scott Lysette's gone down to the rooms as we see Jack Darling take a mark, so I'll let you know when he comes back onto the playing surface.
Thanks, Belly. So Darling plays on, second strong mark. Down in the hill direction, outnumbered. No mark, though, at the back by Hamling, and taken high, Johannesson. So that just eases the pressure. Pickin, we've called his name in big marking contests a few times. He's grabbed 3 tonight already. Out wide to Hunter. It's impressively to see them really going for it out of defence.
They are, but they've actually been good in the air too. When the ball has been long and high, the Bulldogs defence, when you think they might be under pressure, has been able to make sure that Kennedy and Darling haven't been able to mark the ball in that side, that forward 50.
Again, they take it on. Johannesson, Easton Wood, terrific.
Been keeping an eye on him, Baz. Easton Wood's limping a bit too. Came in with an ankle injury. And he looked like he was coming off the ground, Easton Wood. If you just get a look at him now, he's not moving anywhere near as freely as he normally would. So, again, we'll keep an eye on him as well.
Pickin, again, the target there, which is interesting. Couldn't hang on to that one, but gee, they're playing well, the Western Bulldogs. They led it by 14 points with just on 2 minutes remaining.
After the boundary throw in, Giles foxes his own ball, gave it to Shuey, standing a metre away, tackled by Smith. Ball up.
They're looking at Easton Wood's left ankle, it seems, which is the one that he's carried into this contest.
Hopefully he's okay. Ditto for Lysette. Gaff off the ground, close to the boundary line. A fortnight ago, Gaff had a personal best against the Crows. Suckling, a little 1-2 with Dunkley, kicks across the ground. Yo gets on the end of it, and now they can break. Wellingham wants to draw a man, goes to Marston. Out wide is Hill. Will he get the ball? Yes, he will, but he's drawn a long way up the ground. So Hill down towards right half forward. Short lead offered by Lacroix. Ignores that, sets it up. Deep to the pocket. In front, Darling. Hands to it, couldn't hang on. Morris charged in. Dunkley at the back. Johannesson likes to run. He thought about it. He flirted with it. Now he gives it to Biggs. Takes it up towards the wing. Taken nicely by Wellingham. Back towards half forward. Boyd juggles it. Took a while. Darling flung him down. That would have hurt. Ball spills wide towards a teammate there, though, as far as the Boyd player was concerned. It came across to McRae, who gave it back to Boyd. Did him no favours.
So there's the story for the Bulldogs. Is Easton Wood carried an ankle into the game. That's Gary Zimmerman, the doctor down there, just having a look. Scotty Lysette's gone off for the Eagles as well.
So here's Wellingham, back inside 50, and out to mark on his chest, Cordy. Never won an interstate final, the Bulldogs. They've never been in front a quarter time in an interstate final. Smith didn't quite wobble to Dalhouse, almost. Yo hard at Pickin. Oh, a couple of tough customers there. Gaff got it from Shepherd. Gives it back. Now a driving ball again. Inside 50. Big fly. Lacroix roving perfectly, but it takes the wrong bounce.
Too many pressure with the tall Bulldogs defensive group. They, as they so often do, they don't allow one-on-one contests. So those big Eagles forwards are having to compete in pack situations, and that's suiting the Bulldogs. They're clearing it well.
Cycling to himself. Runs to the pocket, takes something off the kick. Well done, gives it to McRae. McRae trying to bounce that one through. Wonder why they bring the ground into the equation. There's the siren for quarter time. And what an interesting quarter it was. The Western Bulldogs started well, missed some chances. The Eagles got back-to-back goals, and then the Bulldogs have stormed home with the last 4. Quarter time in the second elimination final, and the Bulldogs, that's right, the Bulldogs lead by 13 points.